There, my name is Nancy, and I'm an Akashic Records reader, medium, and a Reiki practitioner. And I connect you with loved ones and others in spirit to bring through messages that help you in your life, to give you guidance, support, or direction that you need.
And I'm Kathy. I'm an evidential medium. I deliver messages from spirit to be of service to those without the voices. Spirit or don't have any way to communicate. So I'm here to try to help facilitate that, to bring comfort, guidance, and healing to loved ones who are still here.
Yes. All right. So we thought it'd be great to ask a question or have a question to ask each one of us and get our take on it. So the question for you, Kathy, is this. Do you
Mhm.
think you have to be born with it, be born with this gift, or know about it since you're a little child, or is it something that you can develop later on?
Do not believe you have to know about, you have to be I believe we're all born with it. I do believe we're all born with many, many, many gifts. Some get realized, some don't.
Mhm.
But no, I do not believe you have to be born with it. I do believe some people are,
Yeah.
and it evolves. I and they maybe don't know that they are, or don't understand what's going on until they're older. I
Mhm.
do think though this is also learned because it would whatever this is ability to connect. I do believe we all have that ability within us. It's whether our path takes us there. So if you're interested in getting into this and connecting with spirit on some level, go for it. I think you do know you do have the ability. It's just finding your path to that.
Well, it's like your story, right? Where you got inklings of it, but you didn't know for sure till later on, right?
For sure, I didn't know. Yeah, so
So
I
maybe
I
speak to
had I
that for
looking back, I could see, oh, I just didn't know what they were when I was a small child. But I also know of people who are um grown business people. I mean, if you know the story about one medium, she's a great teacher.
Mhm.
Suzanne Geisman, she was a military. She was a top, I don't know if she was a colonel, I forget what she was, but she was high up in the military, working with President Bush. This was not on her radar. She was not at all interested in this. And
Really?
then her story is fascinating. It was through the loss of a family member that opened it the possibility up for her.
Mhm.
She had a desire then to try to connect. So she learned it much later
Yeah.
in her life, and so I think anybody, you do not have to be born with it. I think I'll say that there's a caveat. I think everybody is born with it.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not, if you are interested in this and you haven't had you don't think you ever had a connection in your life, that's okay. I still think it might come easier for some than others,
Mhm,
but I
mhm.
do believe everybody can. It's my take. I do believe everybody can do this. What
Yeah.
about you? What's your thought on it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's, I think because I know firsthand that I didn't know I could do this as a kid or as a teen or in my 30s or 40s even. It wasn't until my 50s when I realized that I was able to do it and somebody pointed it out to me.
Hmm.
Did I notice spirit before then? I think, when my mom passed, I felt her energy. I wasn't at home at the time. I was, in a room with for sorority rush and with like packed into a room in the far corner, and I just felt this energy go through me, and I knew my mom had passed at that moment. Like there
Oh,
was no question. So I knew at that moment I had a connection with spirit. I felt her energy. And then, of course, like other people, you have like little, I think that's my mom. I see a sign, but yeah, it wasn't like the Long Island medium where I know like here's your mom and that, even
right,
now it's not like I'm getting that feeling or seeing things when I'm in a grocery store because going back to that previous episode, I set boundaries, but
right.
yeah, no, it wasn't until I was much later in life now that I've
S-
realized this.
So that's a great example, and thank you for sharing that example with your mother, because I know that's personal, but you weren't necessarily connecting with spirit at that point. But
No.
you had that feeling because you had that knowing.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Um, No, I was, 18, um, college,
Right.
and thinking probably mostly about myself. Even though my mom was sick at the time and I was obviously thinking about her, I had gone back to the house that night to just be with my friends and hang out. But that energy that I felt was unmistakable. And the cool thing is, um, I never felt that again until Spirit just reminded me of this last night in a reading I was doing. That, I was being attuned to Reiki, and I was attuned with a woman, I honestly did it through, like, an online course, and this woman's and I signed up to get the attunement, and she's like, "I'm gonna send it to you at such and such a date and, this
Uh-huh.
time," and she wasn't with me, we weren't on Zoom, and she sent it, and she said, "It's finished, did you feel it?" And I'm telling you, during that time, I felt that same huge rush of energy come through me like I felt with my mom. It was the wildest thing because I remembered, it was like a remembering of that energy pushed through me. I don't know. But yeah, I wasn't
That's
tuned into spirit at all. I mean, I would go to readings. I was an addict, not an active addict, but I loved palm readings and going to
yeah.
mediums. But I was always having somebody else do the readings for me. I didn't think that I had the ability to do it for myself. Um,
Right.
yeah,
And I did too. I've gone to mediums and all just out of just the experience. I wanted the experience, but
yeah.
um I didn't realize that I could do it myself either. And but I think for people asking this question, um don't put the parameters around what has to be in order for
Mhm.
you to be able to do this. I, if you are interested in connecting, think that you might be and want to explore it a little bit, then open that door and go. Like that's so I don't think you have to say, "Oh, well, I didn't feel it when I was little, so I don't think I can."
Yeah, there you go.
Or I can't ever sit and meditate for a long period of time, so I don't think I can. I think okay, then don't. So if you're at all interested, I don't care if you're, you know, 15, 35 or 95, you can start your journey with this. It's there for you. It's if you want it. It's not for everybody.
And
Certainly
it is a
not.
journey.
It is a
It is
journey.
not easy.
95 will be a late time to start, but hey,
It is not easy. There's a lot of introspection and, you have to
healing within
healing,
yourself.
and you have to be persistent and passionate about it and patient and practice and, um,
And that goes back to one of our previous
yeah,
questions that we did, finding a supportive community
yeah,
in order to practice, in order
yeah,
to try things out. I don't know if this is it or not. Um, I've never done this before, but I want to try. Do it. That's
yeah,
great. So no, you do not need to be born with it. I do believe everybody has the ability though.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so that's our take for this week. Thanks for tuning in. And if you've enjoyed this, be sure to hit subscribe below so you don't miss the next one. And if you have a question, we'd love to hear it. Or if you have a suggestion for a topic you'd like us to discuss, drop it in the comment because we would love to hear from you.
Yes, and if you're curious about what we do, head on over to betweentwomediums.com because there you'll find all of our events and information about us, in a nice little spot. So see you next time. Thanks for coming.
And take care. Okay. Can I hit the end recording?
Yes.